with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show. Everybody's talking about it. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard about it. But as you can see to my right, I have a guest here, Miss Martine Flowers. She's with Smile Hospitality Incorporated. We're going to get into it with her in a couple of minutes. But before that, we're going to do the intro. So if you can hold tight for me, we're going to do the intro and then we'll be right back.
Welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels, where we talk about everything hospitality, from hotels to influencers and everything in between. We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25 years in the hospitality industry, beginning his career with Marriott International in hotel operations before moving into the sales arena and becoming a relationship building director of sales and marketing. Russell then went to the other side as a hospitality entrepreneur. He now consults in the hotel and meeting space, which includes being the CEO of Russell of Hotels Group. Did I mention he was a veggie foodie? Yes. Russell is always looking for good non-meat eats. Please welcome your host, Russell Edmond.
Good afternoon, and thank you again for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Today is show number 218. Who would have ever thought that I would get to show 218? But we're here. Today, once again, is Tuesday, August 22nd. And thank you guys so much for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show. I'm on with Miss Martine Flowers, Smile Hospitality Incorporated. We're going to get into it with her in a couple of minutes, but I have to go through this, the monologue or this. She has an intro, right? So I was looking at it, I'm like, am I going to say this whole thing? Because it's like 10 pages long. I said, the show will be over by the time I finish this thing. No, that's a joke, right? I'm joking. But no, I thank her so much for, actually approaching me to come on the show because just real quick, we met each other through LinkedIn, right? So, and that's how I meet a lot of people, right? Just through LinkedIn, through just, looking at people's posts. Other people are content creators as well. They create things, they post things out there. And it's good to know that, maybe the stuff that I'm posting is somebody's actually reading it and somebody's interested in coming on. So I do appreciate Miss Flowers for reaching out to me. And of course, I'm like, yes, I want people to come on. So, no, I love people to come on and talk about their story, having gotten this industry that, a lot of us love so well. I mean, I know I do. I've been entrenched in it for, 25, 30 years. I know I don't look that old, but yeah, that is true that I've been in the game for a minute. And it's always good to see, new blood, so to speak, coming in, and then I know that, what, it's gonna be all right. When I finally, decide to get out, which I don't think I ever will, but it's gonna be in good hands. So and today is no exception because I've read this person's bio. I'm seeing what they do. I've had conversations with other people that even know who she is, and she's a real deal. Okay. So, but we're going to get into it. So before I get into it with her, she's muted right now, but I got to do the proper intro. Okay. So I'm going to read the intro and then we're going to go from there. So please forgive, me if I butcher some of the stuff on the bio. Okay. I mean, I'm human. Okay. So give me a break. So hold on one second. I just wanted to move my microphone out of the way. Okay, so reading the bio. Martine Flowers is a trailblazing hotelier and a sustainability advocate with a diverse background that spans the realms of hospitality, technology, and the culinary arts. With a passion for creating authentic and sustainable guest experiences, Martine's journey in the world of hospitality began after serving in the Air Force, where she developed invaluable leadership skills and a deep appreciation for excellence. Having witnessed the transformative power of technology during her service, Martine ventured into the world of hospitality technology, where she created an innovative app that connected travelers with enriching local experiences, bridging the gap between tourists and authentic cultural encounters. Drawing from her tech savvy background, Martine seamlessly transitioned into boutique hotel management and consulting, leaving an indelible mark on the industry with her dedication to sustainability and eco conscious practices. Her remarkable expertise in the culinary arts adds an artistic flair to her hospitality endeavors, crafting exquisite and sustainable dining experiences dining experiences for discerning travelers. Martine's relentless passion for sustainable hospitality has driven her to redefine the industry and led her to the verge of acquiring the premier luxury hotel in Jamaica. Her inspiring journey, fueled by unwavering determination and resilience in the face of heart end stage heart failure, serves as a testament to the power of purpose driven leadership and innovation. As a dynamic speaker and visionary, Martine is thrilled to share her experiences and insights on the intersection of sustainability, technology, and luxury in the world of hospitality on the On Air with Russell of Hotels podcast. Join her as she explores the art of creating meaningful connections between guests and their surroundings, crafting a new era of conscious luxury that prioritizes authentic experiences and environmental consciousness. Without any further ado, please welcome to the stage Miss Martine Flowers with Smile Hospitality Incorporated.
Oh, thank you. I really did not expect you to. I really did not expect you to read that whole thing. So thank you.
Hey. You know what? When I ask for a bio and someone sends it to me, and normally I could like chop it up. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I do chop things up and chop things out, but there's so many different things in that whole thing. I mean, there's parts everywhere that I want to chop out because I think I would have did you a disservice if I took some of the stuff out, if I didn't read everything.
I appreciate it.
Oh, no, you're more than welcome. And thank you so much for coming on the show. Just before you get started, though, I just want to let the audience know that you can make comments in real time here. I'll put the comments on the screen in real time if you choose to do that. So fire away questions, ask questions, make comments, say hello, say boo, say hello from wherever you're located. I would appreciate it. The comments are open. So, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're fine. It's your show.
Okay. Oh, no. It is my show, but that's okay. But
definitely.
but it's our conversation. So
Right.
Before we get started here, I always get asked this question, and Martine fell right in place. She asked me before the show started. She said, "What questions you're going to ask me?" And I always tell everybody that's a guest on the show that I never tell the questions I'm going to ask. And this is not an interview. Neither one of us is looking for a job at this point. I don't think. I'm not. I don't think she is either.
No.
So this is not an interview. This is a conversation between two friends about how she got into industry. Okay, so that's how we do this. So just relax and we gonna get through this. Okay, but what I do is just in like preparation for any conversation I have, I just write out a bunch of bullet points and I just hit the bullet points and then just ask and then just go. It's kind of like rapid fire, you know what I mean?
Right.
But but no. But tell me this, okay? This is the question that most people want to know. Did you choose hospitality or did hospitality choose you?
I chose hospitality. Actually, a very intentional choice that I made, but Caribbean hospitality, the Caribbean tourism, that chose me. The Caribbean chose me. So
Wow.
both. I would
Okay.
say both. I like you said, I started off in the Air Force, and my ambitions were to become an astronaut, work for NASA, and then become an astronaut. And then I decided that I didn't want to do that. I was 20, 21 years old or something like that. And, I said, this isn't necessarily the path that I want to take. You get older, things change. So once I was finished with my time in the Air Force, I chose to follow my talents, which was culinary. So I went into culinary school, learned all that stuff about hospitality, and that was great. But what really happened was I took a trip to Jamaica, um, and I remember staying on an all-inclusive resort, one of those big, nice resorts where you have all the activities and everything that you need on the property. 14 restaurants. It's just a full-on resort, okay? And we were wanting to leave the resort and go see and explore other things. We seen what was on this property. Now we want to go see. And the Jamaican the Jamaican workers were telling us, the employees were telling us not to leave the property because our organs would be sold on the black market, okay, and that we couldn't trust Jamaican people, and they'll kill you and you'll get kidnapped and all these other things. And I'm looking at you like, you're Jamaican too, so if you're telling me this, then what are you telling me about yourself? But needless to say, we left anyways and took the risk of our organs being sold on the black market. And we had the most incredible, um, just culturally immersive times that I've ever experienced in my life, to the point where when we were leaving Jamaica, I was like, how am I going to get back here and never leave? And that was my goal. So I also was very interested in technology. So I said, I'm going to try tech. So I tried culinary, did my school. Then I said, I'm going to see if I can't build an app that connects tourists to licensed drivers, so that you don't have to worry about being kidnapped when you're gone on trips. You can find a Jamaican certified driver, a tourist board certified driver. So we did that. It expanded to experiences, and it was amazing. Then I kind of grew into the bed and breakfast Airbnb craze. So started with the Airbnb, then went to the bed and breakfast, and I just said, you know what, I could create a hotel experience. And I started visiting boutique hotels and really just fell in love with the boutique artsiness, the beauty, the intimacy, the experience, all of it. So that's how I chose hospitality, because I could have chose aerospace, tech, like making apps and things, to hospitality, and I seriously chose it. But I was really getting back to Jamaica, so that was always the plan. that was,
Wow, that's a great story. That's a great story. Now, how long ago was that? When did you take your first trip to Jamaica?
that was 2014. I
Okay,
was actually
2014.
5 months pregnant when I went.
Okay,
Yep,
okay.
and I went to Jamaica and I was in there snorkeling. I was I was doing everything. So I was I was living my best life. So
Wow. Okay.
it was
Okay.
amazing.
That sounds good. I love this. I love this. Okay. So, first of all, thank you for your service in the Air Force. We appreciate that. And then, okay, so from there, now what would you say from the Air Force? Let's just, what would you say helps you from the Air Force, like transitioning into like hospitality?
Oh wow, that's a huge question, which is a really simple answer for me, and that is that, no offense to the civilians, but civilians are quite lazy. Okay, they don't understand how missions, in the Air Force, if you don't do your job and you do your job right, you could go to jail. You know what I mean? Like, you have to take a serious pride in your work and what you put out. And because before I got fully out of the Air Force, I went from active duty to reserves. And
Okay.
even the reservists, okay, they were different than us in the active duty. And that's all I'm going to say on that. They were just different than active duty. So then going to the civilian workforce, they were very different. Okay, they were very different than active duty, needless to say. So I take the attention to detail, being able to, look in a room, see, make sure it's clean enough, make sure that those small smells, sights, senses are still tantalized in your experience, if you will. you know Commitment to excellence. Whatever we say that we do at our hotel, that's what we need to do, and we need to execute it in the highest excellent standard. And then another thing that we kind of take for granted, I feel like, in the civilian workforce is a hierarchy. You know, being able to put people in place from top to bottom helps everybody stay in their lane and get things done more efficiently. So, you know, those things really those are hospitality. And let's not even start talking about uniform,
Hmm.
because as a chef, you have to have your uniform crisp and clean and white
Yeah.
every time you show up. That's military as it gets. Okay.
Okay.
So
Right. Right.
it really does correspond quite a bit.
Okay. Okay. I love that too because yeah, I've worked with people that came from a military background, and yeah, there's no comparison. That you will know someone that came from a military background in the hospitality space because, well, they're a lot more regimented than even, I mean, just, just the regular managers or the people that I came up with. They're a lot more regimented and a lot more disciplined. And, I mean, and they get their point across. I mean, if you know what I mean. So,
Yeah.
no, I can appreciate that. Um, let's say, okay, well, take me through like when you went to Jamaica, you learned all you can learn. You wanted to, you developed an app. What was the time frame and all that? I mean, did you stay in Jamaica? Did you go back to Atlanta and then come back?
Yeah.
How did that whole thing work?
Yeah. So I was 2014 Jamaica trip, came back home, and during that time, I think I was still in culinary school. I was still in hospitality. The things get blurry after my medical event. Sometimes things can get a little blurry.
Okay.
But after I went from Jamaica, I went back home and then I started doing software engineering, just trying to find courses to show me how to build an app. But I ended up finding someone just like kind of on a freelancer website to build a prototype app up for me so that we could start using it in Jamaica. So by 2016, I was back in Jamaica. I had a house that I was renting then, like I was full time or part time in Jamaica, most of the time. We'll just say most of the time in
Uh-huh.
Jamaica and the other surrounding Caribbean islands, because we also did a lot of um, work in the other islands, Latin America and Madagascar. So we got around with the app, and that was 2016, 2018. We exited that, and that's when I was pregnant with my daughter in 2019, and we were focused on buying a hotel at that point in the boutique space. So where we came from, 14 to 16, we had the app. We were taking it around. We living in Jamaica. We came back to Atlanta in 2019, 2018 time period, and then a week after I had my daughter, I had two massive heart attacks and end stage heart failure. And it
Wow.
was caused by a rare condition called peripartum cardiomyopathy, or PPCM.
Mhm.
And it's basically when the heart is enlarged and it the arteries tear from the inside because the heart is enlarged, and it causes a blockage, which is a heart attack, whether it's cholesterol or whatever it is blocking is not supposed to
Mhm.
be blocking. So um, I was put in the hospital for a few months, ended up getting a device attached to my heart that has external components, actually, that I carry around. And my life was sustained, and I remember having a moment in going back to choosing hospitality in the hospital where I was like, how could I ever travel again? How could I you know, build this hotel, buy a hotel? How could I do any of those things if I'm going to be, stuck to this machine? Or because I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk at this time, I couldn't write, like everything, all my senses, because I was on life support for so long. I had to relearn everything. So in that whole moment, as I'm, just walk learning through it, trying to figure out what am I going to do, how am I going to do it, yeah, and so on and so forth. I just decided I got to figure it out. I'm just going to do it. I don't have any other ideas. I don't have anything else. I've spent most of my 20s, I was 28 at the time, most of my 20s trying different things, trying to find what I love, what I was passionate about. And I found that in Caribbean hospitality. And at that point, I was just working to get better so that I can do what I'm doing right now.
Wow, wow. That's the story right there. See, that's the backstory. See, a lot of us don't know that. We don't know that backstory. We
Yeah,
see the stuff in front of you. We don't see the stuff that happened, several years back, or what actually, pushes you to do what you do to this day.
right.
Now, okay, so from there, well, you started the hotel, right? So you must have I mean, felt better enough to do that, right? Or to travel again, or did you do everything from Atlanta?
No, so in 2021, right after COVID, obviously, because I got lucky that the world decided to stop the same time that I had to recover,
Okay,
So
okay. So
it
timing's
was,
everything.
timing was everything. So during that time, I went back to school, did hotel and resort management, um, took different certification programs to, increase my knowledge and things like that. And just give me one moment, sorry.
It's all right. Still there?
Yeah, sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I was doing things during the moment to increase my knowledge and just really put myself ahead of the game. So we started again in the boutique hotel acquisitions, because before that we were trying to build a hotel from scratch, and it was my
Okay.
first hotel,
Mhm.
and it probably could have made it work, but it's a lot more difficult to jump into the hotel investment game in a Caribbean foreign, market, first time, and make it make sense to investors. So we decided that really the smarter and the more sustainable thing to do would to be to take existing boutique hotel resorts and add value to them. And that's pretty much what we've taken the initiative to do. And our value add is sustainability. So we want to take advantage of the natural resources that are on the island: rain, wind, and sun,
Mhm.
and really be able to improve or increase the property value, because these sustainable things really do increase the property value because they lower so significantly energy bills and water bills. And if you have the natural resources
Mm.
coming, then you've reduced your energy bill by 80%.
Wow. Wow.
You
Okay.
know,
So now did you partner with the hotel owners, or did you buy a hotel? How did that work?
so we're buying this particular hotel. We're in the process of doing that.
Okay.
But we're outright purchasing hotels, Caribbean boutique hotels that are cash flowing.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So that goes into my this other bullet point that I have: a Caribbean-based sustainable boutique hotel repositioning firm. Is that a fair assessment of what your company is or does?
Yeah, that's pretty that's pretty clear. We buy, we acquire, we operate and sell boutique hotels, and add in sustainable solutions, and including things that affect the people in the community as well. So we also invest in the community, invest in the workforce that's coming in the community. So we're all around sustainable value add. We're not only adding value to ourselves but to the community.
Okay. Okay. Now, what did you? Okay. How did you come up with this? How did you? Why is sustainability a big thing in Jamaica? Was it a big thing on? I mean, was this something that was within you anyway? Did you learn this in hospitality school? How did this come? Because sustainability is a big thing everywhere. It seems like, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
how did you get into that? And what made you? What was that aha moment? You said, you know what,
That's a good
sustainability.
question. That's actually a great question. I've never been asked that particular question,
Well,
but
you never been on here, so of course you haven't been
right,
asked that
right.
question.
But I guess I've always kind of just been hyper conscious of the world around me. I could say that. Um, I was the type who bought in fleas because I brought in stray cats, into the house. And, the type that's like, it happened. That's a true story. Okay. I mean, I was a child, but I mean, really, I've always just cared about people, and really the sustainability started when I think about it with the people. The mission really of Smile Hospitality is more about serving the people and not just the guests.
Mm,
Because when they told us that the Jamaican people were a threat to my life, you know what I mean?
mm,
And
mhm,
and I go out there and they're the warmest, kindest, thoughtful, like just kind of straightforward people, the kind of type of
mhm,
people I like.
mhm,
It's just, you can't judge the 5% as the whole 95, because I'm sure there are some people out there who will do bad things if they had the opportunity, and I'm not
mhm.
denying that.
Yeah.
But I am saying that most people are minding their business in Jamaica, and I can't. I'm sure people will agree with that. Honestly.
Well put. Well put. Yes, 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 yes. I've been to Jamaica a couple of times, and yeah, I mean, and this goes back some years where yeah, people would say certain things like that, and I'm like, well, but we still went because you can only do so much on property. You know what I mean? You
Right.
want to go and because a lot of the properties, and I'm just going back to my experience, a lot of the properties were maybe like say corporate owned or owned by different companies. They could have been American companies for all I know, right?
Right.
And I wanted to experience the real Jamaica, right? I want to experience the restaurants, the food that I'm talking that you've been hearing about, and I wasn't getting it at the hotel at that point. So I'm
No,
talking
you're
about
not.
20 years ago, exactly. So I'm talking
Right.
about 20 years ago, right? So,
Hmm.
and I'm like, this can't be the food that everybody's bragging about, right?
Right.
So eventually we ventured off property and did the local thing, and that kind of catapulted from that experience to other places that we've gone to make sure we pay homage to the locals, right? We go
Right.
where the locals
Hmm.
eat. We support the local businesses. You know what I mean? And that kind of catapulted it from our experience in Jamaica, and then we went to Mexico and went to these other places and countries or whatever. But it all started with that trip to Jamaica. And no, I understand. I mean, I get it, and yeah, I want to give back, and you can't necessarily give back being staying on property and being afraid to
Right.
go off and and experiencing everything else that that particular country has to
Right.
offer. Yeah. So
Right.
no, I appreciate that. So yeah, thank you so much. And there's another thing about sustainability. I wasn't, a lot of hotels and resorts or whatever, they preach sustainability, but do you actually see it? Right? Do you actually see what they're doing? And one thing that got my attention, I was at a hotel, and this was here in LA. I was at there's a hotel it's called the One Hotel, which is an independent hotel. Um, and in the shower, I got a tour of the hotel, right? So they show me around, and they're showing me all this. Oh, we're sustainable, this and that. Well, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. But we got into the bathroom, and in the shower, it was an hour, an hourglass timer. The sand,
Hmm.
sands of hourglass, you
Right.
turn it over or whatever. It was said it was a 5 minute hourglass, and it was in the shower, right? And it was like I said, what is that? Because it was noticeable, but I was like, what is that? I mean, I knew what it was, but I was like, well, what's the purpose of that doing here? Because we advocate 5 minute showers, and if people don't know, they won't. They won't. If you just put a sign that says 5 minute showers, no one's gonna adhere to that. No
Right.
one's gonna pay attention. But
I
if you
like
put a
that.
little hourglass there
Right.
where you can actually turn it, it's interactive, and when they see
Right.
that the sand has gone out of it, they stop the shower and they get out. And he said, based on that, they've saved so much water because of that
Hmm.
little thing that probably cost
Yeah.
$5. You know what I mean? If
Right.
that.
Right.
So when I saw that, and this wasn't that long ago, it really just a light just went on like bing. You know what? That's what I guess I've been missing, that component, because I hear a lot of hotels talk about it, but to actually maybe see it and get the guests involved in it, that's what
Hmm.
kind of resonated with me. And obviously it did, because I mentioned the story like 2 years later, to you.
Right.
So what is it? What do you think about that? What does that mean to you?
Well, it means that, they're taking it more serious. I mean, I see, as far as the Caribbean and seeing it, I see a lot of hotels doing more of almost like a forced situation of not necessarily cutting the water off, but if you open the door, the AC will shut off. If there's no motion in the room, the lights will turn off.
Okay.
They do it to where like you really don't have an option to turn the AC off when you open the door. We're gonna make sure that it's censored enough to turn it off
I
for
like
you.
that too. Yeah, no, I like
Mm-hmm.
that. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Well, that's kind of a forced, yeah. But I mean, but if that's what you have to do, because people will leave stuff on, they walk
They'll
out.
leave it on
Yeah,
all day.
exactly. So no, that
And
that
energy
makes sense.
costs are extremely high in Jamaica in particular, but in the
Hmm.
islands, energy is extremely high. The highest in the Caribbean is in Jamaica.
Wow, this is good. This is good. Okay, I like this. I like this. So, what would you say? And this could be, I bounce around in my questions, so this probably would be better suited at the end of the show. But I'm gonna ask now. What would you say is your biggest challenge of getting, first of all, buying hotels and getting them to kind of, go that sustainable route?
Well, the biggest challenge actually isn't the sustainability at all. The biggest challenge is the speed in which people operate. you know, they we're talking about island time here, folks. Okay.
Okay.
It's a real life thing. It's a real
Hmm. Okay,
you
so
know,
it
so
is
I
it
would
is real, huh?
it is real, and just kind of the different standards that you see. Whereas, if you go to buy a hotel here in the United States, then you get a deal room, you get an OM, you get financials. Everything is pretty much a given. You get it all because you need it to make a decision as quickly as possible. Whereas on the island, especially if you're buying from like local family owned, where maybe the hotel was just passed down, or it's been a while since it's older people, you find a lot that they are very protective of their financial information,
Mm.
to the point where they're like, you need to give us a non-refundable deposit before you even can see the financials. And you're looking at them like, really? And then you have to walk away from really good assets because you can't get the financial data to back it up. And when anytime you're using investor funds, you got to be able to back it up. This
Yeah.
isn't passion project. This is business that we're doing over here. So it's
Mm.
that
Mm.
that's probably the biggest issue, is just um, adapting to trying to find that balance between the way we need to do business to get things done US side and the way they do business, because you still have to respect, even if it's not the same, you have to still respect the way they do business,
Exactly.
even if you don't agree with it.
Yeah.
You have to work within You have to give and take. It's a negotiation. So
Gotcha.
I would say that's
Gotcha.
the most difficult part.
Okay. Okay. Now, how many hotels do you own now?
Right, this will be our first one.
Oh, this will be your first one. And how can I ask how
Mm.
big it is?
Yeah, sure. It's 19 keys. We'll be
Okay.
expanding that one out. But right now it's a very nice, small, boutique, intimate resort
That's a
with
good
a,
starting point. 19 keys. That's
yeah.
a good starting point. Yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that. Now, what would be okay? Your involvement, like a day-to-day involvement. Say, let's say tomorrow you get the hotel. What's your day-to-day involvement?
Yeah, so right now I'm just managing the team. We have a team of sustainability professionals, from engineers to water engineers as well. We have a lot of different people on the team to go in and do the assessment of the property, see what we need to put in. I do a lot of the relationship building and making and things. So I'm going to continue doing a lot of what I'm doing right now. We already have our concept and programming that we need to be put in. So I'm going to be there, drill sergeanting it up and making sure that everything goes the way that it's supposed to be in the situation, honestly. you know
Okay. Okay.
Wherever I need to be, I will be. That's pretty
Gotcha.
much it. Yeah.
Gotcha. And what's the time frame on you getting this first hotel?
Yeah, so we're looking at by the end of September to have everything completely,
Oh
you know,
wow.
thrashed out. We are very close to finishing it. Like I said, it's silent time. Okay, so we just got to give a little bit of extra time to everything that we do to kind of get it done over the finish line.
Wow. And can you share the name with us or no?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay. 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 But it will be under Smile Hospitality Incorporated, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. All right. No, I had to ask. I had to ask.
Right.
Um. Okay. Blueprint to get to where you are. Because a lot of times
Yeah.
especially when you're buying hotels and things like that, there's people that have done it before. I understand that, but sometimes it's not. Some of the people aren't free with the information. They're not as free flowing with information. Now I know there's people in Atlanta that I know that we may know the same people that may have assisted you in this. I don't know this, but I guess that's the question I'm asking. Who gave you? First of all, where'd you get the nerve to do this? And second, no, I'm joking. And second, did anyone give you a blueprint, or you said, you know what, I'm gonna figure this out on my own?
Hmm. There was no blueprint necessarily given, but I'm not gonna say that I figured it out on my own. You know what I mean? I'm
Okay.
gonna say that I definitely had to go search in multiple spaces for information, but there wasn't like one blueprint other than just talking to a lot of different people and gathering that information. And the nerve, the audacity, I don't know where I got that from. I don't know. I have no idea. Again, I was born like this. I was born with a lot of audacity, and that is just where we're at today. So,
Oh, that is good. That is good. No, you know what? God, I, I just wish myself, and this is more personal than anything, that I had the nerve or the audacity to do that when I back 20 something years ago. But the I'm gonna say the landscape is different, a little different now than it was back then. But it's funny, the people that I know now that just don't. I mean, they got their nerve. They're women.
right.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
And
That's
there and I
dope.
and I love that. And I love that. So you being in Atlanta, now I got a name drop. Now do you know Davon Reeves?
Of course.
Okay, okay,
Of
okay.
course.
So I got the name drop.
Yeah,
So
and she's
okay,
always been very kind, very, very supportive. Very nice, nice young woman. I really do. I love, everybody sends me her screenshots. Like my family, they'll be like, "You're next. You got this. Look, there's other women doing it." And every time I see it, I'm just like, "Yeah." Like yeah, she's doing it. And I
yeah.
just get I'm so proud of her and just everything that she's been able to do as a trailblazer in this industry.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Yes. Shout out to Miss Davon Reeves.
Shout
Definitely a
out.
trailblazer. Somebody that I've been following for a while. I bought her book, um, and just somebody that's just forthcoming with the information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So back when I first started, now I know how to manage hotels. Okay, I went to school in hotel management, all that stuff. Been managing hotels for umpteen years, but they didn't teach you how to buy hotels. That was the whole thing. They kept
Right.
that close to the vest. I work for management companies, I work for corporations that own hotels, but ownership would, well, we had enough money to buy it and then we just bought it. Well, but okay, well, what are the steps it took for you to do this? And a lot of them kept that close to the vest. It was not even, we never even discussed it. I try to ask a question and it was like, ooh, no, no, no. But I'm glad that,
I
like I
want
said,
us
I'm
all to
glad.
win.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I love. I love that winning, everybody can win attitude. I love that. I love the nerve because you got to have nerve and the audacity to do it.
You
Okay,
show better.
you show better, right? And three, like I said, the women that I see doing it, and they all have to be African American. That's the thing that that's the key. That's the thing. That's the caveat. That's the deal. So and I love seeing it. I love seeing it. I love seeing that other opportunities are opening for other people because of this. So no, when I because when I'll be honest with you, when you first reached out to me to come on, I didn't know exactly what you did. Okay.
Mhm.
I knew that I wanted you on the show to
Right.
find out, but in the interim, I said, let me do my research, let me do my homework,
Right.
and find out exactly what's going on here. And when I started uncovering this, unpeeling this onion, there's different layers of an onion, right?
Right.
Or so as I uncovered stuff, I'm like, this girl's a powerhouse too.
Thank you.
That's what I came up with. I'm like, no, she's a powerhouse too. And in a couple years, yeah, we're gonna be, you know, we're gonna be bound to you as well. So,
I
and
hope so. Look.
no, I see it. I mean, I can see that. I can feel it. I see where you're going with this. And like I said, that whole sustainability thing. Um, and I have to say this too, because when a lot of the bigger hotels, they sustainability, but you know, I always say, like I said, what you don't really see. I hate to say I don't really see a lot of it, or it's like a buzzword, and but our
Right.
hotels really doing that. You know what I mean? I go behind the scenes, like
Greenwashing.
exactly, exactly,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
exactly. So and I know the smaller like you're doing it. This is your whole concept. This is the whole. You're going in with doing that. And I mean that's why you're doing this is because it's not just sustainable for the guests, but sustainable for the community and things like that, and things that are going to come because of that. Because you're saving
Hmm.
money here, you can put that money in the community and things like that. I mean, a lot of companies aren't doing it. They don't even look at it like that. So yeah, no,
The,
kudos
the
to you
whole
for
concept with us is just the word exactly what it means to sustain. If we want to continue to be able to go to the Caribbean and enjoy the beautiful oceans and the delicious fish and these beautiful forests, then we
hmm
have to think on how we can sustain this long term. You know what I mean? If we want
yeah,
the locals to continue to work good at our hotels and enjoy what they do, we have to treat them and pay them well. It's how can we sustain this? It's really just about how can we sustain this for as long as possible.
Mhm.
That is
Mhm.
sustainability. So if you have a business that's not thinking in terms of sustainability, then what are we even doing here? You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like,
Yes.
what,
Yes. No, I like that. I like that. Okay. So, okay, we know about the hotel thing. This culinary arts. Give me the rundown on your experience with culinary arts.
let me tell you, I love food. Okay, listen. My mother was a chef or is a chef. She went to culinary school when I was in high school. So I really had an opportunity to fall in love with different types of food than just what, we kind of grew up eating in St. Louis, which was still very good, but still not the world of food. So my mom, she could cook. I mean, I'm not just saying that because she's my mom either, but she actually can really throw down. And, she went to culinary school. And I thought, you know what, I could definitely try this because I've always been very good at cooking because she taught me how to cook, and that was I'm going to say it was the best and the worst thing that I could have ever done was go to culinary school. One, I'm going to tell you why it's the worst. It enhanced my palate so much that everything is nasty now. Everything in the it ain't right. You know what I mean? Like I've enhanced my culinary just taste buds to the beyond what I can afford right now. Okay, like I spent $90,000 in culinary school, but and now I can't. I don't have a $90,000 palate. I don't have $90,000 pockets yet. So it's like the palate and the pockets not matching up.
Oh man.
That's the issue at hand. But it was great because I got to expand my palate, at the same time.
Yes,
So
I got you.
I
I got you.
yeah.
What's your favorite? Let me first ask, what do you love best that your mom cooks?
Oh, she was a pastry chef. So
Oh,
she
okay.
made these brownies.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. So good. So good. Brownies, caramel cake, which something I couldn't appreciate until I was older. But caramel cake, delicious. Just baked goods. We love cakes and treats.
Hmm.
And, you know, I love baking. Very therapeutic.
Okay, gotcha,
Hmm.
gotcha. I like that. Okay, now what about what can you prepare? What do you cook? What do you like? What do people say? You know what, girl, you need to make this. You need to make that.
That's everything. I mean, and I hate to be like that right now, but
That ain't everything. Come
honestly,
on now. You gotta pull it.
listen,
You
let me
gotta
tell you.
two things.
Let me tell you. When I'm cooking Asian food, I am
Hmm.
Asian. I am Thai, all right. You know what I mean? When I'm cooking
Really?
Latin American food, I am Martine, okay? Like I can get down.
Okay.
When I'm cooking this Creole food, let me tell you, it it gets shaken up, okay? Because I like no, but my favorite thing to cook probably is just healthy food. I'm gonna be honest, like salmon, chicken, just chicken breast, just very healthy food. I'm very serious about nutrition and things like that. So I like to eat things that are gonna make me feel good and cook things like that as well.
Okay. Okay. Now the hotel in Jamaica that you're about to get, does it have a food and beverage component as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the food and beverage currently is actually pretty good. It's not bad. There's the hotel has a perfect 5-star rating.
Oh
Okay,
wow.
so there's not a lot of places that they miss. Okay, so our value add really is the sustainability, but the food and beverage component there. We also going to have our own beach restaurant, bar and restaurant as well. So we are going to have plenty of opportunity to do culinary experiences because it
Okay.
is boutique. We kind of go with that artsy vibe. So everything is Culinary arts is an art. Okay,
Yes.
we are. So, yes, we do have that component.
Okay. Now, will you have to come in and do a lot of refurbishment to like just the physical building, furniture,
Not too
soft
much.
goods, hard goods, things like that? No?
No, not too much. Putting our own unique style on it, switching some things out. Maybe doing some redesigning of the rooms, but nothing crazy. Honestly, the hotel's in excellent shape. It's one
Okay.
of the top hotels in Jamaica, and we're having the opportunity to make it better.
Mm.
you know, and because the original owners were not hotelers, they didn't actually bring that hospitality management experience to it. So they've managed to, you know, do a 5-star resort without that. Just imagine the how you can elevate it with it, and how
Mhm.
you can improve
Mhm.
the experience. Because really now it's just okay. How can we enhance the guest experience past the what they already expect to get from this particular hotel?
Wow. I like it. You're ready. You're ready to do this.
I'm super ready. Let's do it. I didn't come this far not to be ready.
Now, when you first, okay, did you envision buying a hotel, or you just said at first? I mean, was it always the idea to buy a
No.
hotel? What was the thought before you knew you can buy one?
Right. So I had this beautiful 20 something bedroom hotel concept, and it had solo villas, and it was just beautiful. It was a ground up development that was supposed to be seaside. And that was a great concept for the time. But sometimes if you don't get an idea out there in that time, you got to move on to the next idea. You know what I mean? You got to pivot, go ahead and pivot, because that it may have been a good idea when that was a good idea, but
Mm-hmm.
there may be a better solution now. So, you
Okay.
know, yeah. We started, looking at land and things like that, noticing that we would do have to do a lot of destruction, to build this up, and that really wasn't the goal at all. That wasn't
Okay.
what I wanted to have to do, but regardless we would have to do a lot of destruction. I mean, that comes with building anything, but we just decided to take this next route, as there's plenty of great assets already.
Mm. Okay. Okay. That sounds good. I like that. Let me see. Let's see. Because we're on with Miss God,
Martine.
Martine. God, Martine Flowers, Smile Hospitality Incorporated. She's based in Atlanta. Okay, her hotel that she's about to get is in Jamaica. Okay, we're gonna get more information about that when it does happen, because we're gonna blow it up as soon as it. When she lets me know that it's okay to talk about it, that's when we're gonna talk about it. So we're on here just talking about the vision, how she got to where she is, the sustainability aspect of it. I mean, she just shared a lot of information with us. So if you're just now coming in, that's fine. You can always go back and replay it, right? So this is the live thing right now. This is also a podcast. So, and I didn't mention this earlier, but this is also a podcast. So once this is done, give me about an hour or so. I'll upload this to the podcast platform, which is Spotify, and you can take me on the go, or take us on the go, if you will. Um, there was something else I was going to ask you in the last couple minutes. Pilot license. You know what? This ain't got nothing to do with hospitality or hotels, right? But when I saw this,
Right.
I was reading her bio. This wasn't on your bio. I had to find this somewhere else. Okay,
Right.
see, it wasn't on the bio. But when I came across that, I was like, oh my God. And why I'm so excited about this is years ago, I actually wanted to get my private pilot's license. I actually took two, and I told Martine earlier, I took an intro lesson and the first lesson. and I think I can't remember how many hours I needed, 36 hours or something, 24, 36 hours, something like that. I can't remember flying. I can't remember what it was. But I took those, but then something happened where I kind of freaked out. I'm like, you know what? If this dude can crash in the plane, then who the hell do I think I am? You know what I mean? And this was around the time when I don't know. You're probably too young to even remember this. John F. Kennedy Jr. He he was a pilot, but he ended up crashing his plane and he got killed. Right. And this is
Oh
around
my
this is
Lord.
around the time when I was doing this, and I was like, damn.
Oh.
And I was like, if John, they call him John John. I said, if this could happen to John John, I mean, who the hell do I think I am here flying this darn plane? And I backed out of it. But anyway, tell me a little bit. I mean, we just got a couple minutes left. Just tell me a little bit about,
First
what
of
made you do
all,
this.
people die every day in car accidents, and you still be driving around, sir. So I can
Thank you,
I need you to go
Martine.
ahead back and get that. But yeah, so the one of the many perks of military life, being able to get that paid for was that was something because that's it wasn't a cheap
Wow.
type of venture, but yeah, that was something that I always wanted to do. And like I mentioned before, originally I wanted to be an astronaut. So,
Hmm.
I decided to take the hospitality route, but I still plan on being an astronaut, just taking I'm going to buy my way to space rather than go and work my way to space. Y'all just wait
Gotcha.
on it. But yeah, that was a great experience. I encourage you to even go back and get it now, and still do it. Why not? There's no reason why not.
Yeah, I guess, I just need somebody to push me to say, you know what, you need to go do that.
Why
Cause yeah, that's
not?
yeah, like I said, when that happened, I was like, oh man,
John John is the one that's done stopped you. Guess what you're telling me?
well, he stopped me to this point. Maybe you'll be the one to restart it, but John
Look,
John definitely the one that stopped it for me.
I'm telling you,
So
John John is speaking through me right now, and he said that you need to let it go and go fly. That's what he said. He said he's resting. Okay.
oh man, so maybe so. Like I said, when I saw that, that was one of the things that just I said I got to ask this question. I got to have a
Yeah,
conversation
I
about
mean,
that.
do it. It was quite exhilarating to be in the sky, to be able
Mm-hmm.
to be in control.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I actually had one of my best friend's dad. He's the one who gave me my first headphones,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I know he probably wants them back, but I'll.
oh, that's funny.
It's
that is
been many
funny.
years, but it was a lot of work. But it was
Mm-hmm.
definitely worth it. I mean, just to get your
Okay.
private pilot's license, and you can slowly work your way of getting other they call them instruments, or certifications, pretty much, to do other things like
Mm-hmm.
fly in the dark or fly long,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
distances, fly in inclement weather, all these other types of I can't even remember what they're called, but yeah, it was an experience. Like I said, you gotta try everything to know what you really want to do in life.
Yeah, yeah, no, I got you. And maybe, yeah, maybe you'll be the inspiration to push me to do it. So we'll see. We'll see. But no, thank you so much for that, for maybe kind of pushing me to do that, just, based on your
Yeah, don't worry
experiences.
about John John.
All right,
He's all
well,
right.
okay. Yeah, 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 he's definitely all right now. All right. Well, we're 2 minutes over. So, no, I want to thank you so much. Thank Miss Martine Flowers for coming on. I do appreciate you coming on,
Thank you.
and sharing a little bit of your wisdom, sharing a little bit of your experiences, and you're about to buy a hotel. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the greatest thing I've ever heard. So I appreciate
me too.
you spending time, huh?
I said, yeah, me too.
Yes, yeah. But make sure you keep us posted on what's going on. Because, like I said, I definitely want to talk about it. more when you do get it, and that way I can, I'd probably go down there and stay. You never know, but definitely want to promote it as much as I can. So I'm here to help, however I can, push it out there. So just let me know, just keep me posted. And once again, thank you for coming on. But the last, you have the last say on the show, right? So however you want to end the show, you let me know. The stage is yours.
Oh, wow, you're going to give me the mic. Okay, well,
Yes.
thank you all for watching and tuning in today to the show. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today. This was a really nice and easy conversation, just like you said it was. I
Told
enjoyed
you.
myself. So, yep, that's all I have to say. Good night, everyone.
All right. Well, hey, I guess that's it. Well, thank you guys so much for joining this 218th episode of On Air with Russell of Hotels. It's a live hospitality talk show. I do this every Tuesday at 1 o'clock PST. So make sure you're here next week. And I also do a daily check-in on the same platform, LinkedIn and YouTube. It's a daily check-in it lasts about 20 minutes or so. Just, what's going on in the day of hospitality. It could be my day. It can be the industry's day. It can be Martine's day. I don't know. It just, depends on what's going on in the industry. And I just love sharing information about the industry. So once again, thank you so much, Miss Flowers. I do appreciate you coming on. And you guys have a great day, great week, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Please tune in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success. Rather, become a person of great value.